Welcome everyone, I'm Amy and this is
Christina Sell.
And it's really a great joy to be able to teach together and even see each other. So we're gonna do radical self-esteem, which is one of our favorite topics to teach on and converse about. And the reason that radical self-esteem matters is that when we get insecure at any time in our lives, we can actually be quite harmful many times in our lives because we see ourselves as so veiled that our choices, our decisions, everything gets veiled by that cloud of basically not liking ourselves. And so yoga is a practice where we get to like ourselves, but not only that, like ourselves when we're not so nice, or we're not so pretty, or we're not so perfect. We like ourselves anyway. We find people around us who like us anyway. And we can basically be transparent about maybe we're not feeling so hot, we're not feeling good about ourselves, we're feeling down. And when we find people that we can surround ourselves with who love us anyway and fiercely love us, it's wonderful because you get permission to just be yourself and to love who you are. And so yoga to me is a great gift in that way, and being in community and being with great beings like Christina is a great gift. Do you have anything to add?
As we go along.
As you go along. So let's take a comfortable seat with that. And as you close your eyes, go inside to yourself and to your breath. And let your pelvis sit heavy, grounded. And take just a moment to let your awareness wash over every part of who you are, both your positive assets and also your liabilities and some of your darker parts, flaws. And as you take in a full deep breath, allow the breath to just acknowledge and see every part of who you are. And may this practice that we do today, every bit, the breath, the sound of Om, the asanas, every part, come into your very being as an acknowledgement of who you are in your most authentic place. And bring your palms together now in front of the heart. And we'll let the sound of Om resonate in every cell of our body as an acknowledgement of who you are. Full, deep breath in. And with deep reverence for every part of who you are, bow the head. And gently release the hands down to your thighs. Lift your chin and open your eyes.
Great. Okay. Come to the back of your mat with your big toes together and your knees a little bit wider than your hips. Place your hands on your hips. And with your hands on your hips, root yourself down. Amy and I were talking about, radical and what it means. And so there's like this radical, oh my God, it's awesome, it's extreme, it's radical, it's big. And also in the definition means of or pertaining to the roots. Like what's at the base, what's most essential at something. Mathematicians in the room could go on with that too. So root yourself. And so what's radical self-esteem is when we know who we really are at the core, at the essence, and we're rooted in that. And that was the first instruction Amy gave today, is let your pelvis be heavy. So anchor your pelvis and root yourself. Keep that. Walk your hands out in front of you. You're good. But stay rooted as you extend yourself. So we can be wild, we can go to the extremes. One of my friends says it's the skinny edge of the branches. We can go there. But radical self-esteem starts with the rootedness in who we are before the extension out. So with your pelvis rooted, walk your hands out more and more and stretch your spine. And then, like Amy suggested, tune into your breath. Bring your breath through the back of your throat with your mouth closed for Ujjayi Pranayama. The practice of the breath is really one of the root practices of our yoga. That way, it's a radical practice to be conscious of this enlivening force. Turn your toes under, lift your hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. And in the same way you started by rooting your pelvis here, root your hands into the floor. And connect to what's at the base of your own self. What's at the root of your esteem. Push your hands down and forward, stretch your hips up and back. Walk your hands to your feet. Stand firm in your legs, and from your hips, push down into your feet. So once again, root yourself in the posture. Root yourself in yourself. Place your hands on your hips, your shoulders on your back. Lift your chin. Inhale and come on up. Good. Exhale here. Stretch your arms up over your head. Interlace your fingers and extend your forefinger. With a big step with your right leg, step forward. Right leg forward. Lunge. Now squeeze your left leg strong and stretch up. Take your head back and look up. Inhale, straighten your front leg, and now turn all the way around to the back of the room. Squeeze the muscles in your right leg strong and sit deep into your front leg. Sit heavy into your legs, stretch up through your spine. Take your head back, stretch up. Good. Step your right foot forward to meet your left. Place your hands together in front of your heart. Lower your hands. With your right leg, take a big step to your right. Take your arms out to your sides. Interlace your hands back behind your back. Lift your chest, squeeze your legs, and bend forward. Squeeze your legs, inhale, and come on up. Stretch your arms up over your head. Now, turn to the right again. Come up on the ball of your foot. Interlace your hands, stretch up, sit deep. Tone your hips, lift your chest, root down in your legs, and stretch up. Okay, we're going to add a piece here. Come over onto the top of your foot and set your shin down. Bring your chin to your chest, your forehead to your knee, and your fingertips to the floor with straight arms. Then inhale, come upright. All right, some of you's best case, most conservative approach here is to stay upright. Okay, next approach is to take your hands to your hips, lean back. Bring your pelvis forward, lift your low belly up. With your hands, push your pelvis and your buttocks down to lift your chest up. Look for the back wall. Inhale, come up. Stretch your arms up over your head. Good. Stand up. Turn. It's good for one side, good for the other side. Sit deep into your left leg. Stretch up. As though your hands were on your hips, root down. Make your right leg strong back behind you, and as you're rooted in your legs, stretch up full height. Good. With your exhale, roll over onto the top of your right foot, bend down, bring your chin to your chest, your forehead to your knee, and your arms straight down to the floor. Move your belly button to your spine, and your hands down towards the floor. That's it. So you round your back. We're working in this sort of opening and closing, which is really what self-esteem does, right? Opens up, we feel great. Closes down, feel terrible. Opens up, feels great. Closes down, feels terrible. Okay, good. Come up, right? The cool thing is yoga's been pointing us that we get to understand that pulsation, not get freaked out about it. Okay, if you're going deeper, take your hands to your hips. Again, upright, totally fine. Push down with your legs, lift up with your chest, bring your pelvis forward as you bring your upper body back. Take your head back to look for the back wall. Good. Inhale, come on up. Stand up. Stretch your arms up over your head. Once again, turn to the right. Interlace your hands back behind your back with strong legs. Lift your chest, inhale. Keeping your legs strong, bend forward, fold. If it's too much to maintain the stretch with your arms up over your head, absolutely modify it and place your fingertips down onto the floor, or stay upright and just stretch your shoulders. This could be here or here. Inhale, come on up. Stretch your arms up over your head. Join your palms. Okay, now remember which is your right and which is your left, and step into your left foot and bring your hands to your sides. Join your feet together. I know. It's just different. Okay, turn to the front of the room. So that's the basic thing, only now we do it a little quicker. Step forward with your right leg. Look up. Inhale here, stretch up. Exhale, bend forward, come onto the top of your foot, bow forward, touch the floor with your fingertips to round your back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, place your hands on your hips, squeeze your elbows together, go back. Inhale, upright. Stretch your arms up over your head, stand up, turn. Other side, lunge into your front leg. This little sequence, good to get you into your legs. Right legs, make it strong, stretch up. So ideally after this little sequence, your thighs are burning a little bit. Come forward into your left leg, come to the top of your right foot, bow forward. Inhale, come upright. Exhale, place your hands on your hips. Lift your chest, bring your pelvis forward, lean back. Again, you're in charge of how far, how much, how deep. Inhale, come on up. Stretch your arms up over your head, come up to standing. I always say no matter how inspiring we are, turn to your right. Exhale, lower your hands, interlace them back behind your back, lift your chest. Exhale, bend forward, Uttanasana. Always go at your own pace. Be wise. And in that way, you build self-esteem in a yoga class. You start to know you can trust yourself. Your body starts to know you'll take good care of it. Inhale, come all the way up. Stretch your arms up over your head. Step into your left foot once again, join your palms. Hands in front of your heart, turn 1/4 turn to the right. One more time, last time through this. Step your right foot forward. Bow forward. Come up, inhale. Go back, exhale. Inhale, come up, all the way up. Turn. Exhale, sit deep. Inhale, stretch high. Exhale, bend your right leg, bow forward, touch the floor. Inhale, come up. Exhale, place your hands on your hips, go back. Inhale, come up, stretch your arms up, stand up. Turn to your right, clasp your hands behind your back, exhaling. Lift your chest, inhale. Bow forward, exhale. Inhale, come up. Stretch your arms up over your head. Okay, now this time, step into your right foot. Join your hands together in front of your heart. Turn to the front of the room, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bend forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, step back to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Look between your two hands, step or jump forward, Uttanasana. Extend your spine, inhale and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Stretch up, look up and join your palms. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Good. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, plank to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. Almost every tradition of yoga has these sun salutations, these Surya Namaskar, salutes to the sun. And the sun is this age-old symbol in the yoga tradition of the soul, of the self, because it shines brightly all the time. The mind, is more like the moon. It goes through the phases, and we see it change in the sky. The same way that that outer level of self-esteem waxes and wanes. We feel good, we feel bad, we feel good, we feel bad. So yoga's solution to self-esteem is go to what doesn't change within you. Step or jump forward, Uttanasana. Extend your spine, inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. And so it's all there here. Inhale, come all the way up. It's all here in Surya Namaskar. Open and close. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Bend and extend. All the while, what doesn't change, inhale, stretch up, is the breath. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana, the source of the esteem itself. Extend your spine, inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog or cobra, move with your breath. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, move with your source. And as you anchor your hands down into the floor, anchor your attention with your breath so that the asana becomes that embodied prayer and affirmation. Look between your two hands, step or jump forward, Uttanasana. I'm going to do one more. Extend your spine, look up. Exhale, fold. With strong legs, inhale, come all the way up. Look up, stretch up, reach up. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bend forward. Extend your spine, inhale, look up. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Most of us come to these practices of consciousness, whether it's asana, meditation, any kind of self-inquiry, more identified with that moon aspect. When I'm great, I feel great. When I'm bad, I feel bad. and being in that. The whole invitation of yoga is to know we're so much more than that. So we tend to that fluctuation, but like Amy was saying, we can actually feel empowered even in our more dark moments, worthy of reaching out even when we behaved badly. Step or jump forward, Uttanasana. Extend your spine, inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. With strong legs, root down, inhale, and come all the way up. Exhale, Anjali Mudra.
New voice. Release your hands to your sides. Inhale, float the arms up, touch the sky. Good. Take hold of the top of your left wrist and sway to your right. Good. Inhale, back up to center. Take hold of the other wrist and sway to your left. Good. Inhale, back up to center. And exhale, release your hands to your sides. Good. One sec. Inhale, stretch up again, touch the sky. Good. Exhale and bow forward, look within. Good. Pause here in Uttanasana. And as you look within, again, it's a process of also knowing that your darkest parts are oftentimes your greatest assets. That's a big one to swallow. But as you look inside and you see some of the flaws, some of the parts that aren't perfect, those are often your greatest assets, something that you have to offer. An example of that is when someone is really outgoing and kind of in your face. It's not very attractive. It can be really annoying. But that person is outgoing. They have an ability to reach out to people. It's also their asset. Inhale, look up and lengthen the spine. Offer your greatest liability forward as you look up. Exhale, jump, Chaturanga Dandasana. Beautiful. Inhale, come to cobra or upward facing dog. Push through the arms if you're an up dog. Push through the legs. Exhale, push back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Good. Step your right foot up between the hands. Take Veerabhadrasana 2. Spin the back heel down. And everybody bend the right knee to a square. Bend the right knee all the way to a square as a way of coming into the full form of the pose. And also starting to get a nice burn in the right buttock, which is always good. Yeah, kind of gets a little fire going in you of reverence, of acknowledgement of yourself. That's it. Keeping that, now take the hand down the left leg, take your right arm over your ear. Now as your arm goes over the ear, feel how the right leg wants to come out of the pose. Keep engaging with yourself. Even sometimes during our own drama, we've got to go inward, we've got to reach out. So engage by continuing to bend into that right knee. Good, and then slowly take your elbow to your thigh. Keep the knee bent, top arm over the ear. Good. Full stretch from the belly, down into the legs, and out through all the core lines. Make a full, gorgeous offering of your most authentic self. That's it. Good, and on an inhale, rise up. Back to Veerabhadrasana 2. Cartwheel your hands to the floor and step back. Downward facing dog. Good job. Good. On an inhalation, look between the hands, step the left foot forward. That's it. Spin the back heel down. Good. Windmill up to Veerabhadrasana 2. That's it. Bend the knee a little bit deeper. That's it. Take your gaze over your left fingertips slowly and have a facial expression that sums up how you feel about yourself right now. So it can be like, really fierce. It could be, soft and light and kind of playful, free. But bend the knee really deeply. Yeah, and there's a look of knowing, a look of being okay with yourself. Then reverse it. Take your right hand down. Keep bending the front knee more deeply. Stretch the top arm over the ear. Good. Make your legs longer. Aim your knee out over your fourth toe. Right over here. Scoop your tailbone under. That's it. Aim your knee out. Good. Then bring the forearm to the thigh. Keep this thigh back. There you go. And then take the top arm over the ear. Beautiful. Good. As the left knee bends more deeply, you continue to stretch the legs long, and as you reach through the top fingertips and out the crown of the head, make an expression of every part of yourself being fully whole. That's it. One more full stretch, and exhale the hands to the floor. Step back, downward dog. Good. I liked Christina's lunging forward. It's like lunging forward in honor of yourself. When you guys were stepping way forward in your mat, I was really enjoying watching the look of ferocity in your eyes as you took that step forward. So it's like you just are, sometimes you have to fiercely love who you are in all of its array, it's all of its colors. Step the right foot again to Veerabhadrasana 1. This time, we'll spin the back heel down, bend the front knee more. That's it. And then from here, take your fingertips out to the side like you're on a cliff edge. Scoop your shoulder blades down your back into the heart as though you're peeking over the cliff edge, and then stretch the arms up toward the sky. So the heart opens and reveals itself fully. Then bend the knee more. From your tailbone, make your legs longer. From your tailbone, get up more vertical through your chest. Stretch your arms more fully. And then exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Good. Okay. So these warrior poses are meant to empower. They're meant to encourage. Step the left foot forward. Good. Spin the back heel down if you wish. If it's easier on your lower back to keep your back heel off the floor, that's fine. Then stretch your arms up like you're on a little cliff edge. Okay? And then you're going to pull yourself up while scooping your shoulder blades down the back into the heart. Curl back. That's it. And again, you can either have the heel down or up. Then with the upper back totally engaged, stretch the arms up. That's it. Good. Curl back. Beautiful. Bend the front knee. Lift the heart. Good. And exhale, hands to the floor. Chaturanga Dandasana. And I see little spontaneous smiles on the faces. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Hands a little bit wider right here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Yeah. It's amazing sometimes with a yoga practice you can come in and feel really down, really like crap as you approach the mat. And after a few warriors, after a few poses, literally the smile comes back, a kind of inner lift, a kind of hope starts to arise inside, just from the breath, just from the practice, just from lunging. Lunging is powerful. Okay, here we go. Right foot forward, Veera 1 again. So sweep the arms up, and this time do spin the back heel up away from the floor. So you go from here to here. Back heel off the floor. Take your arms up. Okay. Now reach out like you're holding on to a silk cape. Okay. It's your favorite color. All right. It represents you. So that could be like a rainbow. It could be paisley. It could be argyle. I don't know, whatever your individual. Argyle, where'd that come from? From like the 70s, that's where that came from. Okay, so whatever your favorite deal is back there, and this wind comes up and takes your waistline back, okay? It lifts your back thigh, it makes you lofty, it makes you unstoppable, radical. And then that wind puffs up the cape and takes you forward into Veerabhadrasana 3. Warrior 3. And then with your arms flying back behind you, right, interlace the fingers, which Christina prepared you for. Yeah, and take your shoulder blades more flat on the back. That's it. And then, keeping the chest that open, stretch the arms forward. You've got this. Stretch your arms forward now like an airplane. Stretch them forward. Forward, forward, forward. Toward the front of the room. And inhale, Veerabhadrasana 1. Christina's in the corner laughing at me. I love it. Okay, good. And then exhale, hands to the floor. Do you like that? And step back, downward facing dog. Someone's like, bathroom break. Okay. All right, here we go. Left foot forward, Veerabhadrasana 1. So keep your back heel off the floor. So you've got to hug in toward the middle of your mat. To stay balanced, stretch up, hold on to your favorite cape. This side will go a little quicker now that we don't have to deal with the cape as much. Okay? But imagine it, see it, it's your cape. It represents you. And then the wind comes up, your waistline comes back, and that leads you, it lofts you into the pose. Hands behind you, interlace the fingers, yes? Interlace the fingers behind you. Open the heart. Keep the legs, the right leg steady, square the hips, and then slowly stretch your arms forward. That's it. Stretch from your pelvis down that standing leg. That's it. And then lofty, lower the back foot. Veer Bhadrasana 1, arms come up. Yes, and exhale, hands to the floor. Time for Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower, good. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Yeah. Who loves yoga right about now? Okay. Step your right foot forward between your hands to a lunge. Okay, we're going to move to Ardha Chandrasana. So turn your back heel down for a moment. Put your left hand on your hip. Look forward about 10 inches in front of you, and then step your back foot in 6 inches. Right hand stretches out in front of you. Come up very gently, balancing on your right leg. Lift your left leg. Okay? Now, to make this pose very subtle and an expression of who you are, push through your big toe, just your big toe on the left side, the top leg. Take your left arm up. Good. Make your legs super long. Okay, now bend your left knee into your chest. You're going to bring your left knee into your chest until your left hand holds the top of your left foot. Okay? Keep a nice grip there, and then move the knee back for Ardha Chandra Chapasana. You're going to kick the foot back. So this both is strong in the standing leg, but super feminine and open and curvy in the Dhanurasana part. So you're kind of like a bow on a stick. Right here. Kick your foot back, keep scooping the tailbone under, curl the shoulder blades, then go back to Ardha Chandrasana. Big toe forward. Bend the right knee, keep the left leg super steady. Stretch it long on the mat, back to Parshvottanasana. Good, and then take left hand down, right hand on either side, and step back, downward facing dog. Nice. So Christine and I were talking about it, and we were like, how could we do back bends without actually doing Urdhva Dhanurasana? Let's do all the back bends that don't require Urdhva Dhanurasana. So part of that is prepping extra well. So we're doing thigh stretches while we're doing standing poses, see? So now clever. Take your left foot forward. Take your left foot forward. Spin your back heel down. Okay, right hand on the hip. That's it. Look down at the floor. Step your back foot in 6 inches. Left hand forward. Gently come up. Lift the right leg. Good. So with high self-regard, love for yourself, acceptance of yourself, squeeze the standing leg. Good. Then scoop the tailbone under. Pin your top shoulder back to open even more, and then stretch the left big toe as like an expression of your own genuine self. Stretch it forward. Take your top arm up. Good. Now, stay steady in the standing leg. Bend the right knee into your chest enough so that you can hold the top of your right foot. Okay, then curl back. Now, if this variation is not making itself available to you, okay, you can always go back to Arda Chandrasana with the legs sticking out. Okay, scoop your tail, curl your shoulder blades, kick the foot back. So you're trying to open up into a back bend back there. That's it. Then release the foot, bend the knee, hand back on the hip, right hand. Bend the left knee. Stretch the right leg, long, 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 all the way down. That's it. Do a little moment of Parshvakonasana right here. And then hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Yeah. Good. And just take a few moments to breathe here. If you need to rest in child's pose, you can. Good. Beautiful. And bend both knees. And at the bottom of your next exhalation, look between the hands and float the feet forward lightly. Nice. Exhale. Turn back inside. Yeah. So when you get really down on yourself, if you get really low, if it's not explored or engaged, like Christina said, if you're not looking at it, right? Kind of going into those moments where it's open, close, but that closed moment, when you really go into it and engage it, not indulge it, but engage it, you start to lift yourself out. Denying it and trying to be something that you're not, to please somebody else, is definitely not the solution. And it happens all too often. We try to make an impression. It's kind of like when you're dating, in the first 3 months, you're dating the person's representative. You know that whole deal? Yeah. It's like when that's permanent with everybody you meet, everybody you hang out with, you're trying to like be a representative of something, like I'm a good yogi, right? Doesn't work. Be yourself. Hands on the hips, shoulders back. Squeeze the upper back, inhale, rise. That's it. Okay. Baby dancer, baby Natarajasana. It's baby, but it's big. Okay, so it's not the full one, but it's big enough. All right, so you're gonna stand with your feet together. Bend your, let me actually stand this way for you. Bend your right heel toward your butt, but keep your knees together. Take your left arm forward. Rise up through the side of the body, so your armpit actually lifts up towards your ear, and then bend the elbow slightly. Bend your left elbow slightly. Keeping the elbow slightly bent, retract the arm bone into the socket. Good. Then take the arm straight and straight up. Reach with your right hand down, hold the top of the foot. Now keep your knees together so you're like in this really strong column of excellence. Keep that, bend forward at the hips. Keep your ear in line with your arm. Kick your foot back just like we did in Ardha Chapasana. Whoa. And if you lose your balance, it's interesting who you become in that moment when you lose your balance. Are you like, stupid yogi, right? Or are you like, oh, that was hilarious. That's it. Bend forward, kick the foot up. Nice. Inhale and rise back up. Good. Palms together. Little Anjali Mudra as a thank you. Good. Second side. So now you're going to bend the left knee, reach down. Okay. It's actually a little easier if you get the foot first, I just realized. Take your, just trying to be like all careful about it. Slight bend in the right elbow. Okay. And then make the side of the body long, armpit lifts up, and then plug the arm bone back. Hollow the armpit with a slightly soft elbow. Straighten the arm once it's retracted and the joint is packed. Then take the arm up alongside the ear. Squeeze your knees together, so you don't want to be too far back or too far forward. Knees together, and then bend at the hip. Yeah. Kick the foot back, baby dancer. Yeah. Keep lifting the foot up, squaring the hips as best you can. We do our best. That's it. And if you waver, try to go with the waverings as much as you can without getting totally blown over. If you fall, no big deal, come up. Everybody come up. That's it. Yeah, and then rest in the middle in Tadasana, eyes closed. Yeah. Breathe. Yeah.
Stretch up, inhale. Exhale, bend forward, Uttanasana. So all those standing poses Amy taught have relatives on the arm balance syllabus. Step your left leg back, lunge. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. Balance on the outside edge of your left foot and on your left hand for Vashistasana or side plank. Also, modifications for this would include putting your top foot down or bending your bottom leg or even a forearm down if your wrist is sensitive. Downward facing dog pose. Second side, Vashistasana. Root down with your right hand, balance on the outside edge of your right foot. And as you root down again to what's unchanging within you and to the source of your own esteem, lift up and stretch higher. Good, downward facing dog pose. Look between your two hands, step or jump forward to Uttanasana. Place your hands on your hips, your shoulders onto your back, lift your chin, inhale and come on up. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Good. It's totally silly, little drill hill, bend your knees. Straighten your legs. Bend your knees. Straighten your legs. Take your right knee up into your chest and a little bit wide. Bend your knee. Straighten your leg. Bend your knee. Straighten your leg. Second side. Bring your knee up into your chest. Bend your knee. Straighten your leg. Why are we doing this? Well, we're going to put this, bend your knee, straighten your leg, into Vashistasana. So we're going to bend our knee to do a variation. And it's going to help us lift our knees. When we bend our knees, we'll roll over into the sole of our foot. So we'll come down here and bend your knee to step into the sole of your foot. And then with that, we'll do this variation. With your bent knee, we'll put the first leg into tree, the next leg into tree pose, and then like you just practiced, straighten your leg. It'll be awesome. Okay. Okay, stretch. I might be overselling it a little bit. Trying to, okay, stretch up, inhale. Exhale, bend forward. It's my not so subtle brainwashing technique. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Subtle. Step or jump back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. All right. On your left hand, push down and forward, bend your left knee, and lift your hips high. So you roll into the sole of your left foot as you bend your left leg. That's why we practice the bend. Really bend it. Really bend it. Then to grab a hold of your right foot and take your right foot way high up in your inner thigh. Once you've got your top foot placed, push your left hand down and forward, root yourself, and then straighten your left leg and stretch your right arm up. Straighten your left leg and stretch your right arm up. And not everyone's going to be able to get the whole sole of their foot down because of flexibility in their foot, but over time it's going to help you have a real solid place to stand on. Good, downward facing dog pose. And what this does is it starts to lift our hips away into a little bit more of an arc shape of this pose rather than the side plank shape. So it's a little bit more fluid, a little bit more lifted up. Second side. Bend your right leg and roll onto the sole of your right foot. Then take your left hand, grab a hold of your left foot and take it high up into your inner right thigh. And when you bend your right knee, you can lift your hips higher and stand into your foot. It's the whole thing. Then push down, root yourself, take that stand in your own radical self and stretch up and open the pose. Good. Yeah, good. All right, downward facing dog pose. Very nice. Look between your two hands, step or jump forward, Uttanasana. Place your hands on your hips. Your shoulders on your back. Lift your chin. Inhale and come on up. Good. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. All right. Lift your chest. Inhale. Release your hands. Exhale. Stretch up. Inhale. Exhale. Bend forward. Uttanasana. Step or jump back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. All right, we're going to practice this one laying down. It's always good, not always, but lay down on your belly. It's good for your self-esteem. Actually, this will create some work. So here's the thing. Come onto the outside edge of your left side. So on your left leg, balance on your left side. It should be one line, your ankle, your hips, your shoulders, and your elbow. And feel like a little bit of a balancing act here. Squeeze your legs straight and strong. If you don't feel like you're about to fall over, chances are you're not in a straight line. That's a good sign. Yeah, right, I know, I saw a little wavering. Very good. All right, so Amy was teaching that bent legs. She did Veerabhadrasana 2, then she did the straight leg of Arda Chandrasana. And this is kind of like Arda Chandrasana on your side. So there you are. Bend your right leg and grab a hold of your big toe. Good, so you bend your knee into your chest, then straighten your right leg. And each one of those is a discrete stage. So you may stay, not everyone's gonna be able to get their leg totally straight. That says nothing about your moral character. Right? But do strengthen your leg, do make it really strong, and get it as straight as you can. So up to the point that you hit your limit, you work really crazy. Like crazy. When you get to the limit, that's where self-acceptance of the reality of the situation comes in. So this is what I have today. Great, and then release. Awesome, this is called Anantasana. Roll to your other side, named after Vishnu's couch. So there you are, riding around on the couch like a serpent, conducting the affairs of the universe. Okay, it's a loft. It's a real pose. Okay, bounce on the outside edge of your body. Or you may stay here. This would be stage 1. Stage 2 would be bent leg, kind of like the tree pose we just practiced in Vashistasana. Anywhere along the continuum to straight is your next stage. And here's the thing, make your bottom leg straight, because in a moment you're going to be balancing on it. Tone your outer left hip, make it really strong. Like Amy was talking about the firmness of your bottom leg, like that self-embrace, that's got to be there in your left leg. Yeah. Good, great, and then release. Roll to your belly. Interlace your hands back behind your back, press all 10 of your toenails down. Take your shoulders onto your back and lift up. And lift your chin out of your chest and look up. Lower back down. Downward facing dog pose. So this one has a couple component parts you can work as modifications. You can do Anantasana, the one we just did before, or either of the side plank variations. I'm going to teach the Vashistasana variation with your leg up into the sky. Balance on your left hand and your left foot. Bend your left leg and step down into your left foot. With your leg bent, keep it bent. Now grab a hold of your right big toe with your first 2 fingers. Open your knee wide to the sky and straighten your right leg as best you can. Once you get your leg straight, push down through your left leg, straighten your left leg with your right leg high. Very nice. Good. Downward facing dog pose. Second side, on your right side. And again, you don't have to do that business with the leg, or you can lay down and do it. So it's an option. These are the building blocks, right? Bend your left leg, thank you. Hopefully I've made my point today on that one. Keep your bottom leg bent, straighten your left leg best you can, then push down through your right hand, push down through your right leg and lift up. Good, downward facing dog pose. Lower your knees to the floor. Sit back onto your hips. Okay, so great. One of the common troubles we run into in this pose is, this is a major stretch. So one of the common problems we run into in this pose is the pose. So one of the cool things to know is that you're in charge of where your feet are placed. So if you got up to that full expression, towards the full expression of the pose for you, and I've been instructing big toe, but outside edge of your foot is also fine. If you got here and you're like, I got this one straight, and try as I might, I couldn't get that bottom leg straight, what's so cool is you just wiggle your foot out a little bit. And what it is like, it's the distance of, the closer your foot is in, the more narrow, like sort of here's the thing, the more narrow this distance is between your hand and your foot, the broader the distance is between that other foot, the bigger the stretch. It's like a blinding flash of the obvious, right? So if you just move that foot away from your bottom arm, you change the demand in your stretch. And what's so cool is, to me it is empowering to know like, oh, I put my foot there, but I can put it somewhere else. It's like my foot, I can move it. Well, it's true. It's like that in choices, right? We make a choice. We make the best choice we can with the information we have at any given time. And then more information comes in. We're like, oh, have to move my foot, so to speak, right? And then instead of going, oh, I made a bad choice, loser. We're like, oh my God, I'm so amazing. I can adapt when I need to. Like, what story are we telling about the choice, right? That's the whole thing. That's the self-esteem wrap. Let's do it. Down dog. It's a great book called The Soul's Code, written by a Jungian analyst named James Hillman, and he says that we're not so traumatized by the events of our lives as we are by the stories we tell ourselves about the events of our lives. So that's not to say that there aren't traumatizing events, because there are. But what do we continue to say about it? So it's a simple thing like a choice. Just move your foot. Okay, left side. Tell a good story about it.
Who knew?
Who knew? Bend your leg, roll into the sole of your left foot. And again, if you couldn't straighten your legs, start and learn from that last one and give yourself a little bit more space. Then bend your right leg, grab a hold of the top of your foot. Get your right leg as straight as you can towards the sky first, up first. Squeeze your right hip. Then push down and forward with your left hand to lift your hips up. Straighten your left leg. Better. Way better. Good. Downward facing dog pose. Second side. Balance on your right hand. Come bend your right leg and roll into the sole of your right foot. Hips high. Grab a hold of your big toe or the outside edge of your foot. Now push down and forward with your right hand. Stretch up with your left leg. Straighten your right leg. And again, if you can't quite get your right leg straight, wiggle it away from your bottom hand. Yeah, better. Good. Downward facing dog pose. All right. Awesome. Look between your two hands. Step or jump forward, Uttanasana. Place your hands on your hips, your shoulders on your back. Lift your chin. Inhale and come on up. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. So that last one, Ardha Chandrasana's got its own cousin in that, in baby Kapinjalasana. Lift your chest, as does the standing bow. Release your hands. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, lower your hands. I want to give you one little clue that can help your hand. You know, our yoga teachers were totally always harping on this first finger knuckle joint in your down dog, and those of you who teach yoga, you know you do it too. Okay, so everyone take your arms out to your sides. Roll your first finger knuckle joint down to the floor. Keep pushing your first finger knuckle joint down into the floor and turn your inner shoulder towards your outer shoulder. Okay, so this is going to balance the work of your arms. Now, Amy had you already do this. Take your right arm back behind you. Here's a little thing. I've taught this before like this. So bend your right leg and do a stealth move. Then do the other side. Stealth move. Other side. Like nothing. Someone were looking at your face, nothing's happening. Stealth move. Yeah. Okay. Now we do know we may need to do this and make it a little bit more of a thing. Okay. All right, so stealth move. Take your arm back, stealth move. Stretch your arm up. Okay, now before you go, do that same action. Roll your first finger knuckle joint into your foot. Your elbow will go wide for a moment. Now take your right shoulder and spin it towards your inner shoulder, towards your outer shoulder, just like we practiced in standing. Squeeze your left kneecap really strong. Kick your heel away from your buttocks and go forward. Push down through the ball of your standing foot, lift up on your kneecap, tone your upper leg, and even squeeze that butt cheek. Make your legs straight and strong. Then kick. Keep pushing your first finger knuckle joint into your hand. Now, squeeze your right butt to lift your leg higher. Use your leg to lift your leg. That's it, good, better. And then release. So many of us are overworking our butts in life, you know, and so it's sort of like two categories of people, they say, like the overworking butt people and the other people who don't have their butt turned on. But I mean that in like the muscles. Anyway, so here's the thing. If you have piriformis syndrome or if you have a lot of sciatic tendencies, don't overdo the butt squeeze. However, when you're here, the butt muscle actually opens up the front of the thigh and the front of the hip. And when we're back here, back behind us, if we can, our leg is going to be heavy. So if you use your leg and your butt and your hamstrings to lift your leg, you're going to get the help of that. But don't overdo it. Like if you know, it can be, anything can be done too much. Okay, second side. Stretch up. Stealth move. Roll your first finger knuckle joint into the ball of your foot. Turn your inner shoulder towards your outer shoulder. Now before you go, root yourself down into your foot, squeeze your kneecap, tone your butt on your standing leg, and then kick your left heel away from your buttocks as you stretch your right arm out in front of you. Now once you get down and you come down like this, lift your chin and take your chest forward and squeeze your left butt cheek to lift your leg. Use your leg to lift your leg and let your shoulder just stretch along with the work of your leg. Good. Great, and then release. Awesome, so we have to put that into the arm balance, where you bend your leg, lift your hips, make your stealth move. Roll, spin, kick, open. It'll be awesome. Let's do it, stretch up. Exhale, bend forward, Uttanasana. That was a low. Step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. All right, baby Kapinjalasana, but like what Amy says, baby but not big. Baby but big.
Baby but big.
Baby but big. Okay, come to the outside edge. Baby back. Okay, come to your left foot and your left hand. Bend your left leg and stand into your left foot. Really root down, and that's the whole thing. Self-esteem radical at the root. Take your right arm back behind your body, then bend your right leg, stealth move. If you can't, you bring it up into your chest like you did in Kapinjalasana, in Chapasana earlier. Then roll your first finger knuckle joint into your foot. Spin your right shoulder towards your inner shoulder towards your outer shoulder, and kick your heel away from your buttocks. Straighten your left leg. Use your butt to kick your butt. To kick your downward facing dog pose, Adho Mukha Svanasana. I hope that, this is like a low, y'all. This is a low moment in my teaching right here.
But notice the reaction. Notice your reaction. That's my point.
All right, other
She
side.
laughs at herself.
What can you do? Use your butt to kick your butt? That is not a good instruction. I train teachers.
But do you love yourself?
Okay, second side. Let's do it.
You still love yourself,
I do.
though.
It's true. Okay. All right. What I hope is we know when we come to yoga class, you know, the stakes aren't so high. We're here for a good reason. Bend your right leg, lift your hips up, roll your first finger knuckle joint into your hand, and then spin your inner shoulder towards your outer shoulder. Then kick your left heel away from your buttocks, and then use your buttocks to kick more. Straighten your right leg. Open your chest. Those of you stable, rooted, turn your head and look up towards the sky. Yeah. Good. Downward facing dog pose. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Praise the Lord. Look between your two hands. Step or jump forward. Uttanasana. Extend your spine. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Place your hands on your hips, your shoulders onto your back. Lift your chin. Inhale and come on up. Good. Exhale, Anjali Mudra.
Nice. Release the hands to your sides. Good. Inhale, float the arms up. We'll do that crescent stretch again. Take hold of the left wrist. Sway. Good. Inhale, back up to center. Take hold of the right wrist and sway. Good. Inhale, back up. And exhale, palms behind you. Interlace the fingers, open the chest. Good. Standing back bend. Keep your legs steady. Lift up from your pelvis and curl back so you can actually take your throat back and then look back.
Soft butt.
No. Firm butt. Good. Inhale, come up. Kick yourself in the butt. No, don't do that. That would be bad self-esteem. Okay, shake out your arms. Inhale, float up. Exhale, bow forward. Good. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Can I tell the story?
Yeah, totally.
So Christina and I were teaching in Austin, and we had these big glass windows. Yeah, you can come down. This is going to take a while. Let's do some toe yoga while we're at it, so just sit on your heels. But we were in this studio with glass windows, and there was a little ledge, and because we're both kind of small, we like to stand up on things sometimes so we can see everyone, and so she was doing that. Christina was over on the side. And she put her butt against the glass fog, and she was feeling her butt get all wet. And she was like, because we had fogged the windows. And she turns to the butt print on the glass, and she says, "Does that butt print make my butt look big?" And this was, of course, our radical self-esteem weekend, so it was really perfect. Anyway, I was dying. Step back to downward facing dog. It was really one of the funniest moments I've ever had in a co-teaching situation. Step your right foot forward now to a lunge and place your left knee on the floor. That's it. Good. And allow your pelvis actually to come forward and allow your right knee to even come past your ankle, which is somewhat sacrilege, but allow the hips to come forward. That's it. Then take your hands up onto your hips, but keep the pelvis moving forward. Now just watch that the back thigh doesn't sag, right? There's still some activation in that back thigh. There you go. Then take your hands again into the shape of like a cactus. Curl the scapula down the back into the heart, but keep your front ribs soft. So if you look at Christina, if you can see her, there is no ribbage sticking out. It's all, yeah, that's sticking out, that's flat. So you keep it more flat, and then take your arms up alongside your ears and curl back. Beautiful. Good. Take both hands down to the knee again, and then just place your right hand on the floor, and take your left arm alongside your ear. Good. Place the right hand back on the knee. Good. And curl back from there. There you go. Keep the pelvis moving forward and curl back. That's it. Put the left hand down. Good. Lift the right arm up. Yep. And then take your hand on the knee, cross it over. That's it. And curl back from there. It's a little more restricted. Good. Some of you might be able to drop the left fingertips down to the floor on the side of the knee or on the actual back of the knee. Place the left hand either on the floor or on the back of the knee. Curl back. Good. Hands to the floor. And switch sides. There you go. Good. Left foot forward. That's it. So we'll start with hands on the hips, both hands up. That's it. So to give yourself more of a secure and grounded place, a more radical place to move from, squeeze into the midline. Then take your arms up into the little cactus. That's it. Scapula move down the back, but the waistline moves back enough to soften through the front ribs. Then take the arms up. That's it. Curl back. Nice. Beautiful. And then hands back down to the floor. And in no particular order here, you'll take your left hand up onto the knee, right arm alongside the ear. Good. And then curl back. That's it. Just keep lifting through the heart as an expression of your own authenticity. Bend the knee more deeply. There you go. Right hand down and switch. Good. Come up, right hand on the knees, crossing over your body. Good, and so that's a little resting place if it's you're not as back bendy. If you are more back bendy, take the right hand back, either to the back of the knee, the crook of the knee, or all the way to the floor. Whatever you're feeling in your body today. That's it. Reach, and then both hands to the floor. You did it. Step back, downward facing dog. All the back bends you could do without doing Ardha Chandrasana. Here we go. Inhale forward to plank pose. That's it. Exhale, lower all the way down. Beautiful. Take your forehead to the floor. Bend the knees, reach back, hold the tops of the feet. Okay, so that same action that Christina was describing with the buttock actually lifting your leg lifts your leg. I love that. You're going to do it now with both legs, right? So kick the feet back against the hands and then let the legs lift the legs. Go up. That's it. Yeah. And use your breath to massage your organs. So your breath will move you either forward or back depending on the inhale or the exhale. And your organs get a massage. So it's like giving yourself self-nurturing, what's the word I'm looking for? Self-reverence. That's it. And then exhale all the way down. Make a pillow for your head and either turn your head from one side or the other, either to one side or the other. That's it. So part of keeping our self-esteem really tuned and in check is that we are giving ourselves moments during the day to rest or to unplug from the internet, to do some sort of ritual for ourselves. And so even within the practice, we take little pauses to just nurture. I like to also do a check-in with myself. I do it with Christina too. I'm like, what are you at? From a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at with your self-esteem? And not in this way of like, you have to have high self-esteem so you can be cocky or you can be conceited or something like that. But really, are you feeling good about yourself so that you can serve others in the highest way? You feel good about offering the gifts that you have to the world. Reach back. Number 2. Dope. Okay, good. Kick the feet back. You're going to use your legs to lift up. Yeah. The heart opens. You become more available to the people around you when the heart is open. Take your throat back. Then look behind you. That's it. One more full deep breath. Good. And exhale, lower all the way down. Make the pillow for your head. So you're kind to yourself, sweet to yourself. Good. One more of these. Reach back, hold the tops of the feet. And actually, let's hold the ankles this time. So you'll hold the ankles, okay? Flex your feet, and then go straight up. And once you're up and you're holding your ankles, point your feet. There you go. Point them straight up. That's it. Beautiful. Good. One more full breath here. Nice. And exhale all the way down. Beautiful. Push back. Downward dog. No rest on that one. Good. Bring the right knee forward now for pigeon pose. Okay. Tuck your back toes under initially here to just get the legs square and engaged. Okay, then square the hips. Make sure the right knee is pointed toward the right-hand corner of your mat if it's not. That's it. And then from here, come up onto fingertips. Get very lofty and light. Good, and then exhale, walk the fingers forward. So start out staying on the fingertips with the elbows lifted and then soften in the upper back. Good, now keeping the legs steady because you have that back toe tucked under. Keep the legs steady and strong, right? And then point your back foot. There you go. And then keeping the upper back soft, but the armpits lifted, bring your elbows down to the floor. Head releases. Nice. Inhale, come up. So looking straight ahead. I think we could do a stealth move on this one too. It's going to be really crazy though. You're going to go. So what it is, let's just say it first. You're going to bend your left foot and reach your right hand behind you. Super fast. Yeah, there you go. Good. And then bring your elbow down, left elbow down. Twist. Nice. And then release the foot. Come back and we'll swap. So the knee points out to the corner of your mat. So left knee is going to point toward the left-hand corner of your mat. The foot is pointed and the toes are clicking against the floor or the mat there. Okay, square off, engage your legs. So there's a real strength. It's not one of those sort of flaccid, disempowered pigeons, which is, you know, you kind of like, and you kind of sit into the buttock. It's actually like super strong, okay? And then from there, walk the fingertips out, elbows lift up, and then soften between the upper back. Yep. Keep the upper back engaged, take your elbows down. Keep the legs engaged, point the back foot. That's it, head releases. Good, slowly. One hand, then the other. You come up. We're going to do our super adventure move here. So this right leg's going to bend, left hand's going to wrap around and grab. 1, 2, 3, go. Nice. It's kind of fun. All right, then keeping that back leg nice and engaged, elbow down, and turn and twist. So you're getting both a thigh stretch here. You're also getting a twist and a hip opener. It's like a bargain. Good. Just feel the heart as you twist. Breathe through the heart, not literally, but figuratively breathe through the heart. That's it. Good, and then stretch the left leg long. Take your hands back. Nice, and come up to down dog. Good. Bring the right knee forward again. So right knee pigeon one more time. Okay. So first, get in there and settle down nice and juicy right there. Okay, then strengthen. So you get nice and seated, but then strengthen and hug to the midline. Even scoop your tailbone under more. Attempt to take your hands up in the air. Like free bird. I'm totally like balanced, right? I'm not coming over onto my right buttock, which is very popular, right? Is to do the, oh yeah. No, you're squeezing in, okay? Then from there, because you have no hands going on, you can reach back, hold the foot with, now this time with the left hand. That's it. And just play with, wow, I can sink down and I can squeeze in. It's not one or the other, it's actually both, okay? Although sinking wouldn't be the word I would use. Okay, then draw your heel toward your buttock. Left heel toward the buttock, squeeze. So good. And then put the foot into the crook of the elbow. Okay, so your left foot is in the crook of the elbow, maybe. Maybe it's not. If it's not, it's still back here. That's fine. Okay, and then, here we are. Remember that arm plug? So you have a slight bend in the arm. It's going to slack the bicep tendon. Okay, then suck the armpit back into the socket. Take the arm alongside the ear, straighten the arm. curl back, curl back, curl back, curl back, bend, and oh, look at that, there it is. And if it's not, don't worry about it. Okay, if it's not, you can also be just as beautiful right here. See that? I'll show it from the side. Rest your head back against your hand. This way. Good. This is just as good. Nice, and release. That's called mermaid or merman. Good, and then switch. Mermaid or merman. Okay, so left side. First, we practice getting nice and heavy in that fundamental sort of settling and radical of the root, right? Rooting into ourselves. Then squeeze in. See if you can go no hands, hands free. Right? Look, Ma. Did you do that when you were a kid? You're like, Mom, watch. Mom, watch. Or does your kid do that to you? Mom, watch. Because you want to be seen. Okay, good. Then we're going to just reach back, hold the foot, come in for a thigh stretch. Try not to sit into your left buttock, please. Right there. Okay, and then if you can, put the foot into the crook of the elbow if that's available to you. If not, where do you stay? Right here, and you're just as good a person. Okay? Put the foot in the crook of the elbow. Now here we go with the other arm. Okay, slight bend. All right, slight bend. Then armpit goes back, arm alongside the ear, arm straight, reach up, reach up, reach up, reach up, bend the elbow, see if the hand is there, and if it's there, yay, and if it's not, this is just fine. Armpit stays back, and there you are. Mermaid or merman. Good, and then release. Downward facing dog. And that is back bends without Urdhva D.
Walk your hands to your feet. Place your hands on your hips, your shoulders onto your back, lift your chin, inhale and come on out. Awesome. Okay, so before you go, I'll just show you this one. We're going to start here on the back of our mat, and the game is to just keep yourself in Uttanasana and do a very small dog at first. And this is just the goal is to keep your thighs back and to stretch your spine. And then we'll walk out a little bit more and stretch. And a little bit more and stretch. But I'm not in a hurry to get to my full-blown dog, as I'm trying to stay in Uttanasana as long as I can. It'll be great. Nice stretch for the spine. Okay, bend forward. Start in Uttanasana. Root yourself there so that your legs are vertical. Stay vertical, stay rooted, and then we're rooted there. Anything can happen. Stretch your arms out in front of you. And stretch your spine. Walk your hands out as much as you can so that you really come up onto your fingertips and crawl them out, but stay in Uttanasana. So even this initial stage should be a stretch. Good. Then walk yourself out a little bit more. Keep pressing your thighs back. Keep lengthening your spine. Then walk yourself forward. One of the cool things is that when we actually are in our light, when we're in that place that's unchanging, that sun, soul state within us, it actually, the weird paradox of this to me, walk your hands a little bit more forward into down dog, is that it actually gives us, good self-esteem gives us the capacity for true remorse. Now there's a winning topic. Lower your knees to the floor. Bring your feet and your legs together and sit back on your heels. So if I think I'm my behavior and I'm on that swing of I'm bad, I'm good, I'm bad, I'm good, I'm bad, I'm good, and I'm identified, let's say, with that, and I actually do something that was hurtful, it's really hard to I'll sometimes, it's so much harder, but if I know, you know what, who I am is fine, and I behaved badly, it's important we behave badly, we feel bad about it, but not at the level of who we really are. Or else how will we change, you know? And so sometimes I think self-esteem gets sort of co-opted in the new age, and people are like, oh, you're fine however you are, or it's all good, or whatever we say. And but this, weirdly, the paradox is when we know who we are is essentially okay, it gives us the courage to look really squarely at our choices. And so it's paradox, take your left hand. But if I'm not anchored in myself and you give me negative feedback or I do something wrong, I'm going to be more defensive, plain and simple. Squeeze your knees, lift your chest. And so it's this self-love, this self-esteem that lowers our defenses and actually gives us greater clarity, greater courage. Bow forward here. Keep the trajectory of your twist and bow forward. Bring your attention to the sides of your back. And for most of us in this shape, the left side of our back is going to be higher. So release the left side of your back towards the floor, your left breast towards the floor until your back gets a sense of stretch and the outer form looks more even. Good, come on up. Take your right hand to your left knee, take your left hand back behind you, squeeze your knees and lift your chest, twist. Exhale, bow forward, fold. Amy and I have a mutual friend and teacher named Norma, and she's a great Sanskrit teacher. And one of the things she said in a seminar I was in one time, she said, you know, you are the only one going all the way with you. Meaning from birth to death, we're going to share our life with other people. We're going to come into close contact with some and not so much with others. But the person who's going to be there for the whole time with us is us. She says, therefore, it would be in your best interest to make friends with you. Come on up. Go all the way with yourself. Cross your ankles, sit back, and lay down. Hug both knees up into your chest. First stage is to grab your hands, then your wrists, then the middle of your forearms, and then your outer elbows. Place both feet on the floor. Take your right ankle, cross it on your left knee. Thread your hands through the middle of your legs and clasp them behind your left thigh. And then switch sides. And these are really Amy's, and my musings for today. And the point of our musing for 90 minutes on the topic is hopefully to encourage you to muse for yourself about what would radical self-esteem be for you. Where's your source? What's unwavering, unchanging? What endures within you that can help you ride the tides and the ups and downs and the openings and closings? So any teaching you get in a yoga class, release your pose, go to the first side. Any teaching we ever get in a yoga class needs to be funneled through our own wisdom, through our own personality, through our own life circumstances, so that it becomes our own wisdom. And it may mean that you actually arrive at the opposite conclusion than the teacher, which is great. We get together to talk about the teachings. We don't get together to always agree about the teachings. Switch sides. Place both feet on the floor. And one more time, hug your knees into your chest. And we say it so many times in a yoga class. Hug your knees in, hug your muscles to your bones. And the fullest meaning of that word, to hug yourself here. Self-affirming hug. And then, from that place of self-affirmation, stretch your legs out in front of you and rest.
Feel the earth supporting your back body. And feel how you need only open your lungs, open your ribs for the breath to come in. You don't have to draw the breath in, just open. And the breath wants to flow inside of you. So this is the ultimate affirmation of your worthiness. And with that breath, start to move it into the fingers and into the toes, wiggling and waking up the body a little bit. And bend one knee, then the other into the chest. Roll to your right. Good. Stay grounded in your legs and use your arms to come up. And check in with yourself. And whether there's a slight difference from when you first took your seat, and how you feel about who you are. And folding your palms together in front of the heart, with more and more reverence for ourselves and for each other in this practice. May we use everything we gained from this practice to shine on others, to give back to others, to make the world a little bit better and brighter than when we first arrived. One Om. Full breath in. Take one arm and then the other arm around yourself. Give yourself a big hug. And I'll hug Christina. And thank you for coming. Thank you.